Hello. So, he kind of made fun of me there, and I speak after him. Stuart also has his boyish good looks. No, seriously about Stuart, though, we have an incredible board of trustees, but I think they will all agree that we have had these past 2 years a fantastic leader in Stuart Landefeld. I think he's an attorney by night and Plymouth by day. I don't know. He's put so much time and effort into it. So, Stuart, thank you for all your hard work. I want to thank those of you who keep coming back year after year. We appreciate your support. But with a record-breaking over 1,300 people, I know we have a lot of new people here today. So I want to thank you for taking your time out and learning more about Plymouth. And although Joan and John, who are incredible co-chairs, thank them, I would like the Luncheon Steering Committee to please stand up and be recognized. They're the reason this room is so over capacity and why you're so crammed. Thank you all. Stand up. Wonderful job this year. So we are very grateful for the compassion and generosity of the community. You have supported Plymouth's mission, some of you for the entire 35 years. You've supported us by volunteering. Record numbers this year. 450 volunteers clocked in over 7,000 hours this year for Plymouth. So we really do appreciate that. And we appreciate also the Weston. They had quite a week, I can imagine, and they got us all in here. But year after year, Jason and his team have been wonderful to Plymouth Housing Group. I also want to mention 4 of our staff. Now, all staff are nervous right now. We have 170 staff at Plymouth, and every year, what we do is get together and they nominate fellow staff members. These are staff members who they feel really live our mission and went above and beyond to support us. And those folks are over here. I'm going to ask them to stand. Sean Lee, Marsha Thompson, Jill Cummings, and Jeff Buchanan. This year's Winners of the Mission Award. Thank you, guys. Each year, we highlight a group of very important people Plymouth serves. 2 years ago, it was veterans. We have over 200 formerly homeless veterans now calling Plymouth home. Last year, we focused on people with mental illness, which describes over 60% of our residents at Plymouth. This year, we want to highlight the way Plymouth's permanent supportive housing contributes to racial equity and social justice in our community. It's everywhere. It's on everyone's mind right now. We see it everywhere, both locally and nationally. It's an important issue. And that's why I'm so pleased to have Bryan Stevenson here as our keynote speaker. Bryan has dedicated his life to addressing inequities in our criminal justice system, and his book, Just Mercy, is a bestseller. Get it outside on your way out. I really appreciate Bryan. He spent the morning with me, walking around, seeing our buildings, meeting our tenants, and you're in for a treat. Some of us have heard him speak before, and we're very excited that he's here. Let us look at the numbers. In King County, people of color represent 30% of the population. Yet in the homeless community, 47% are people of color. Plymouth is committed to matching our services to meet the needs of our homeless community. 51% of our tenants are people of color. We're also very proud of the work that we do to divert homeless people out of the criminal justice system. People with substance abuse, with mental illness, who are homeless, should not be in jail, right? They should be in supportive housing. And our community gets this through partnerships with the police department, the business community, social service agencies, jail health programs, and the courts. We are working very hard so that people are not in jail, are in supportive housing, and getting the help that they need. I'm honored to have here with us today, Joyce mentioned him, King County Superior Court Chief Criminal Judge Jim Rogers. You're going to see Jim in a little bit in our video, and he too gets it. He gets how important the work that we're doing is. Also in the video, 2 stories of our residents who are no longer part of the criminal justice system, but thriving and really succeeding in Plymouth housing. Their stories, and so many other stories like them, are at the heart of our Housing First model. It's quite simple. Think about it. How do we expect people to heal, to deal with their issues while they're living on our streets? Get them into housing, give them the support they need, and they will be successful. The model saves our community money, but more important, it's just the right thing to do. Our generous public funders who have supported us for decades know this is true. So do our donors, and so do our partners. But since we have about 300 new people this year, I want to make sure you know it too. I also want to give a special shout out to one person in the audience today. All the eyes divert away from me. It's not me, is it? I'm talking about Councilmember Nick Licata, sitting over here. Nick, will you stand a second? Nick has been a champion of Plymouth Housing Group, and not just Plymouth, but so many organizations like us for so many years. He gives a voice to people who do not have a voice in our community. And I'm sad that he's going to be leaving council, but I thank him so much for all the years of service. Thank you, Nick. Okay, this is always like a little hard part for me. I want to recognize our staff. I mentioned we have 170 staff. So think about this. All of us will walk by someone homeless on the streets, and we will witness their visible struggles that they have. So think about that person the next day living at Plymouth Housing Group. That's what Housing First is. That's how it works. So think about what you see, and all of a sudden they're living in an apartment in Plymouth. We have an incredible team at Plymouth who will now work with them from day one, and their goal is to make them succeed and keep them in housing. They do an incredible job. Would the staff of Plymouth Housing Group please stand so we can thank you? Everybody stand. I wanted them to feel that because I feel it all the time. I'm out there and y'all tell me how great I am and how great Plymouth is, but they're the ones that are doing the work, and they're the ones that are really, really dedicated, and they do an amazing job. I just really am grateful for them. So, we all know that we have an affordable housing crisis in Seattle. This past year, Mayor Murray and Council put together a group, and we were called the Housing Affordability and Livability Agenda Committee. HALA for short. People heard of it? Okay. So what we did was we came up with 65 recommendations to address this issue. Number one, no, I'm not going to do that. But they're really good and they're important, and I want you all to look them up and read them. What the report does is it recommends tripling our current efforts to add 20,000 affordable units over the next 10 years. Amazing. And we want to thank the council and the mayor for really making this a bold goal, but one that we think we can accomplish, and we all need to work together to do that. Thank you. And we at Plymouth want to help. In a few short months, we will be opening our 14th building, Sylvia's Place, named for Sylvia Odom, one of our founders 35 years ago. You can see it on 3rd Avenue near Virginia. It's well under construction. The windows are in. Although most folks in our housing need ongoing supportive services, some long-term residents have proven that they can live more independently, and we want to do something about that. As 65 of those residents move into Sylvia's Place, what's great about it is it'll free up 65 more spaces in our buildings to bring 65 more people off the streets and into supportive housing. Building number 15, that will be up on First Hill. Thank you to our funders here today for making this one possible. It will be 80 units, and our hope is to provide housing for people who are homeless who also have medical issues. Get them off the streets and into housing. Keep them out of the emergency room. We have seen this work in our other buildings, and we know it can work here too. So we want to even do more, and I know Plymouth has a lot on our plate, but when I look around this room, I see friends, I see supporters, I see new friends, I see people who get it. They get that homelessness is an issue that can be solved. The good news is that we all want to solve it. We at Plymouth know that supportive housing is healing, it gives a person their dignity, and it's the right thing to do. Okay? Thank you for being here. Please take a look at our video, and I appreciate your time.